I want to give you else something else real that could indicate that gold is not going to go down much or whatever. So I know there's a lot of talk right now. The whole market's going to cave in. I think they're more going to cave in 2013. I'm going more by the Mark Farber, Jim Rogers thing. It ain't going to hit just yet. But I'm going to give you another angle besides the Ben Bernanke and printing the money and all this type of stuff. Why gold is probably going to go up. And just as a side note, I put a lot of these pictures up here with these women on the motorcycles. These are pretty much amateurs and stuff for the most part. No pros. But I realized on my updates on silver, I had mostly guys or males looking at the channel, so I said, screw it, I just throw these up here. I'm politically correct, incorrect, and irreverent, and I don't know. I don't know if that makes me anti-Christian, but who cares? But I noticed on my updates for like doing stuff on a Sebring convertible, Chrysler convertible, there'd be women that are looking at that because they're like, how the hell do I fix this thing, or the health updates. But I noticed on these silver videos, and I'm thinking, I don't want to stick a stupid coin up here. So, bikes contain a lot of silver, chrome anyway, silver stuff anyway. But this could be a good representation of the kind of bondage and financial straits we're in right now, because we're watching the metals go up, the bottles are going down. It's screwing with your head, right? Well, let me just give you this. If you're still here listening to me, this is a very common sense fact. I did mention about Mark Farber buying a gold, but who's the guy that's controlling the deal right now? Him, right? George Soros. He's the puppet master, right? Do you think he's going to screw up his own investment? That's something else. Do you think he's going to screw up? He's got the power, right? Obama's known as the Manchurian candidate. They all say it. He's Manchurian from head to toe. He's owned head to toe. I know I mentioned about Valerie Jarrett is actually got a lot more pull in the White House, and who sees him and who gets around him and all that crap. But she ain't pulling the strings. No way. It's George Soros. He's heavily invested in gold. Do you think gold's going to go down? Now, I know the Lindsey Williams prediction about oil going through the roof this year, that's more like, I think, if the other camp got in office. That's something I'm not liking because I'm in double leverage on that. But I'm going to hold anyway. That might be a stupid thing to do, but I never know when an outside event's going to move in the Middle East. There's always something that can happen. And it's going to come out of left field, so I'll be patient. But, I don't go hog wild into anything. And that's why I always recommend people, even with silver, not to go hog wild into it, but it's going to play out because it is somewhat attached to gold. I know it's an industrial metal, but let me say it again. Old George Soros is heavy in gold. He's controlling the strings. I think that part, like I told you before, about the devaluation of the dollar is going to be the next thing coming up, and that's going to mean gold's going up. The markets can go down, just like in 2011, August. The markets can go down, oil can go down. Doesn't mean gold's going down. Not everything's going to move together. So silver's probably going to do okay. Now, I just want to point out something about, this guy's philosophy. We know Soros hates America pretty much. Thinks it's a big bully in the world. Soros doesn't even like Putin either. That's why he supports the Georgia president, the country of Georgia. And he's got I don't know. I mean, you really can't think anybody's good or bad. I mean, like one's better than the other, but he's got a different philosophy. So when we talk about the elite, they sure as hell don't get along with each other, obviously, right? I mean, Lindsey Williams pointed this out, but I mean, damn, I knew that. But you figured like the Bush crowd, if Romney was all in with the Bush-Cheney crowd, if that group was in power, the Lindsey Williams predictions would have came right on, exactly, probably right to the T. But let me put it this way. I'll say it again. George Soros is heavily invested in gold. I don't think he's going to let his investment go down that much. Let me put it this way. It's not just that. I mean, he knows. And it's not like, don't go thinking he's going to, he wouldn't have bought it if the bottom wasn't coming here. He wouldn't have bought it. Like, in other words, if he's the puppet master and he's going to make the economy crash and all this kind of crap and destroy America, that doesn't mean gold is going down. Okay, so I know today you saw some series up and down in the market. Silver's down like 12 cents now. It was down like, I don't know, 50-something cents this morning. But that was that Mario Draghi talking like, He woke up. These guys, I mean, they say something, they can make the markets go all over the place. But the metals look like they're holding. The oil's going down. The metals look like they're holding up pretty good. So not everything's going to go down. Like when you're talking about an equities meltdown, well, usually when equities go down, oil goes down. That's pissing me off, but there's nothing I could do about it. And I don't really feel like selling it because I never know what the hell these bastards are going to do. I figure at one point in time there's going to be a serious spike in oil, then I'll sell it. Maybe it'll just be a break even or a slight loss or whatever the hell it is. I'm not sure. But as far as the metals, I'm not worried about them at all. Not even in the least. Not at all. Like I said, the puppet master George Soros he bought gold back, in the second quarter 2012, third quarter 2012, all before, it rose up again. He bought it like in the low 1500s. He loaded down on it with quite a bit. In other words, if he was pushing to have Obama elected, and then and he's controlling the strings on a lot of different things behind the scenes, you think he would have bought it back then? No, he wouldn't have done that. So just calm down about gold anyway. Silver, it's going to do pretty good, I think, still, even though it's like an industrial metal. You got to remember, common sense, partly attached to gold, but it's going to be going all over the place maybe. Who the hell knows? What else is new, right? But just calm down about it because I think the only place that's going to be bullish is gold and silver. But the markets, I don't think they're necessarily going to crash just yet. Go by the real, they call him the puppet master but I say the real master of the markets is Mark Farber. It's like sometimes he's saying stuff, and I couldn't believe when he was, I was shorting gold and silver a little bit back in the spring of this year, and I made a little bit of money on it, not much. It was a little bit though, and it was good enough, it's smart enough for me to get out of the markets for a little bit. But if I would have held on longer, I was getting nervous about that crap. I would have made out much better. But he turned out to be exactly correct. He turned out to be exactly correct. So he's got gold too. So you remember the puppet master behind Obama. What's he have? Gold. Does that make you feel a little bit better? I mean, I'm not just trying to cheer you up or people up, but think about it. Think about it. I don't think they would have bought it back then. If they thought they're going to push to get Obama in, or this Soros start to get pushing to get Obama in, and he's going to crash the price of gold, he wouldn't have bought it already. See? But usually when the dollar goes down and equities go down, like I said before, the other point was if they overspend and the dollar goes down and that type of stuff, and Soros' whole thing is to make America weak. And the only way to make America weak is to make the dollar weak. Right? I mean, really, what is America's power? It has the world reserve currency. So what would be George Soros' policy? To take that away, right? So what's left? What do you keep? Gold. Probably silver too. Probably silver too. All right? So, I mean, that's a simple logic. No charts. But I don't think people were thinking this thing fully through, because Soros is the puppet master behind Obama. And you know where he's got his money in? Gold.